Well, good morning and welcome back to the homestead. It's another beautiful day just like yesterday. Might even be a couple degrees warmer today. And we are going to be in this kind of a weather pattern now until about Friday or Saturday. Today's Tuesday. And then we're going to get about 10 degrees colder. We might be able to keep the wood stove on all day at that point. Right now, I lit the wood stove this morning and it felt good. It's just, I love working with the wood stove as opposed to the front porch summer kitchen. But, it is what it is. But I just love working with that wood stove. I like getting up early and lighting that fire. It's just a primitive person in me, I guess. But, so, that's going to be that. So tomorrow we're going to do errands. Today I'm digging potatoes. Thursday I'm digging potatoes. But then Friday, I guess we're going to go to that Common Ground Country Fair that I talked about already. And we look forward to that. It's a little hard on my knees because it's a lot of walking. They have you park in this parking lot way over on the other side of the mountain, it feels like. And then you have to walk in. And by the time I get there, I'm done. I'm done walking. But, we sit down and rest a little bit and then get going. But a lot of stuff to see. There's a seed saving talk they're going to give. I think it's going to be on Friday. And then lots of good stuff. We're going to bring our own lunch. A lot of long food lines. The food is good, if not pricey. But it's just such a long line. You go through half of your day at the fair just waiting to get a little wrap or something, a $15 wrap. It's just, we're going to bring our own food and sit down in the shade and enjoy that. But what else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, so that's Friday. Oh, the car, not that you care, but the car appointment went really well. It was just one little thing. We had a light come on, and the car was running fine. We had a light come on, and so I had them check that light. I don't want to go back to the dealer because the dealers are way, way too expensive. It's been my experience that whenever you take your car to the dealer and you're in the waiting room, and if the guy or girl comes out with a clipboard and they get down on one knee and put that clipboard on that knee, you know you're in for a big bill. And what are you going to do? You're at their mercy. But I've had enough of that. So if I'm going to pay that kind of money, I'll just pay it to the small brick and mortar mom and pop repair station. Rather than give it to the big guy. So that's just me though. But so anyway, it was really good. The lady came out. She had her little iPad or whatever it is, and they hook it up to the car or they scan something. I don't know what they do. And she came out and said, yeah, that light, I turned it off. It was just something that happened. There was a power outage in your car that happened quite a while back. And it might have been them from disconnecting the battery from the car to service something. And so I said, sounds good to me. So she said, no, there's nothing wrong with the car as far as we can see. So I said, okay, how much do I owe you? She says, no charge. So I think we found a new repair station. Want to get into those potatoes right now. I'm going to be using my dad's potato fork. I think I talked about it the last time I dug potatoes. I dug the mid-season potatoes in the beginning of August, which was, about 6 weeks ago. And it's just, my dad grew potatoes in that same area, but he didn't grow as many potatoes or as much. He didn't garden as much of that space as we do. We had machinery come in to help us create a garden. We had to have a bunch of trees removed and a truck removed. But so anyway, that's what I'll be doing today, digging potatoes, and I'll tell you how I do it. Okay, let's get going. So I bring the wheelbarrow in like this. I back it in the row, between rows of potatoes. Back it right up. And then I can take the foliage that I dig, the potato foliage or whatnot, I can dump that in the wheelbarrow so I can get it out of here. And I've got my collection bucket right here. I'll drag that along. This is my dad's potato fork. He's letting me use it. I like to insert the potato fork about 6 inches this side of the plant, the potato plant. Push it in. This is physical work. And then I try to get the fork under it best I can. Then I lift up and flip the whole plant upside down to reveal any potatoes that might be in there. That's all there is to it. I like to put the fork in a second time because oftentimes, like right here, you'll get a straggler. And I just work my way right down the row. I drag my pail with me as I go down the row, and I back the wheelbarrow up as I go down the row. There we go. That's how I dig potatoes. These potatoes are a light color compared to the mid-season potatoes we grow, which is a dark blue color. These are easier to find in the soil as opposed to the darker colored ones. So these are more fun to dig. Okay, that row is done now. That row number 2. I don't know if you can tell it apart from the other one. There are 2 bare dirt rows next to each other now. Row number 1, row number 2. So we did really good, and we got a fair amount of potatoes too, by the way. So here's our wheelbarrow load. It's loaded full with foliage. That's going to go right down to the compost bin so that when we make our installments of humanure from the humanure pail and from the bathroom, we'll put those in, and when these foliages dry up, it's the perfect cover material for that compost bin. And there's a nice little pail of potatoes from that 3/4 of a row. So that's a nice little potato haul. That was 3/4 of a row of our rows, our potato rows. And these potatoes would be very nice in a nice midwinter's soup on a cold day. Make a leek and potato soup. These will go great in beef stews. I put these in just about every potato that we make. These will be great. We got these potatoes out, which was really good because those potatoes came from right about where that white agrabah is all the way down to the end. That little bit of a row yielded that many potatoes, so I'm very happy with that. I pretty much gave up that row. It was lost in the weeds and the crabgrass. And those are the potatoes that I dug earlier, the first phase. That was row 2. So that's row 2 right there. They're pretty much dry, But I'm kind of whooped. I'm going to go to the house. I'm just going to cover them so that the sun doesn't hit them too bad. And I'm going to cover these also. Well, they're going to get covered with the tarp. So there we have it. We have one big tote worth of potatoes underneath that silver tarp, and then underneath on the ground in another tote is another full tote of potatoes. I'm very happy with our yield today. So that's just about going to do it for this one. I'm whooped and thirsty. I stupidly forgot my water bottle when I came down. But I didn't want to go back for it because I thought if I did, I'd get involved in something else. I wanted to stay down here. So I'm going to go up, rest. I'll probably edit this video and get it ready for uploading. And probably have some lunch. We'll see what Danielle's up to. And that'll just about do it from here. Tomorrow is errands day. We go to town and get whatever. I don't even know what we get anymore. Just olive oil and maybe ice cream. Things like that. We grow all of the rest of our food, so that's tomorrow. I'm gonna get a bag of chicken food, and what else? So then on Thursday I'm going to finish the rest of that row 3 over there, and that'll probably yield another good tote's worth of potatoes. This last batch today's yielded some nice big potatoes. I'm very happy with that. Maybe because they're in the shade and the earth that they're in did not dry out that much. We don't know. It's one of those funny things. So anyway, that's going to do it from here, and I'll catch you probably tomorrow evening when I do my Wednesday night walk around. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Bye. While the potatoes are drying, I just want to show you this interesting thing that I saw the other night when I was weeding the new carrot bed. I looked to my left, and in the older carrot bed that we planted back in May, I found these 2 stems sticking up. And the first thing I thought was, look at that, there's some Queen Anne's lace growing. We don't want that in our garden. You see these flowers? This is what a second-year member of the Carota family would put out for seed production, whether it be carrots or Queen Anne's lace or what have you. Well, I'm thinking, we've got Queen Anne's lace growing over here. Let me pull them out of the ground and get rid of them. Well, I pulled them out of the ground, and look what I found. I found carrots. Not Queen Anne's lace root. I found carrots. So what does that mean? Well, that tells me that those 2 particular carrots were stressed. It tells me that those 2 carrots went into survival mode. It was thinking, it's just too hot. Let's start producing seeds this year and not wait until next year because the species might not survive. These 2 carrots were thinking to themselves. I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's also a sign that, sure enough, nature agrees with us that it was too hot for this area. Now, if you're growing carrots in an area that is used to that kind of heat, like if you live in the Ozarks or in the South or someplace where, heck, 95, 98 degrees is almost the norm, and you're growing carrots, well, your carrots are probably accustomed to that, and it didn't faze them. But up here in the north, we live in Maine, at the 45th parallel, our carrots are saying, whoa, it's too hot for us. I don't know if our species is going to survive. Let's start producing seed this year. So I found that kind of interesting.